draft around Milky Way if you want to with RNG, and why not with how hyped up this guy, like you've talked about already, has been in the past in these LPL stances. But we're sped through the bans here. Victor and Bessa taken away by IG. Scarter is not allowed on that red side, and Gala's just on Ash duty.
They've had a very robust draft every single game. IG, they get the Ashe for Gala this time. They've been playing. If Jiejie has to play 3 games of Vi today, he's the one jungler that I'm just going to, you know, he deserves a little bit of love. I don't think he has to play 3 games of Vi. Look, they're already locked for bracket stage. They can't possibly get knocked out. I think it'd be pretty tough. Big look here already. That Kindred ban might seem a little bit interesting for people at home, but Milky Way, a player that made a lot of hero game-defining plays on this champion in spring last year and was known in solo queue for this pick. So taking up the K'Sante here for TheShy. I mean, if we're playing a lane swap meta, then might as well just put TheShy on K'Sante, because this champion has been able to make do for the past year and a half.
It doesn't sting if the game script gets directed towards him as bad compared to the Renekton game. Was able to bounce back, excuse me, but K'Sante, it's just so much easier to be able to be effective later on. We don't get another Jiejie Vi game. Gets on the Wukong. Similar style, a bit more fun, a bit more flashy, I would say. Just a lot of Wukong prio in this tournament, nonetheless. You talked about that in the last draft.
I'm confused about RNG's draft strategy here. It is going to be an AD jungler here for Milky Way, and one that has a large potential to actually win a team fight and have those humongous hero plays. You have the resets, you have some really great champions, so hoping that for Milky Way he's able to flex his muscles a little bit and showcase some of that mechanical prowess that we know and love from him. Coming into the second phase of draft, I think RNG are in a bit of a pickle here as they've picked a Kalista into the Ashe lane, so already you might be losing that level 1 unless you're able to get a really strong level 1, level 2 spike into them. And for IG, I think immediately you should be looking at potentially getting rid of the Renata, immediately kind of coming in as their first ban, and you can take a look at either the Leona, the Alistar is already gone, Nautilus is something that kind of could be there. We've been seeing Rel lower in priority throughout the tournament as we've gone forward, so not too many pairings here for the Kalista, and I'm a bit afraid as RNG already kind of setting themselves up with some pretty low damage. I'm going to have to see a lot from the solo laners here if this Maokai is going to be going support.
Which is expected. I like the call out to a little bit lower Rel priority. I think Rel is a bit rough into the Maokai as well, so don't really want to pick that. I mean, Rakan, Leona, I think this is a really good game for Meiko to really cook early in the lane, really be a bit of a bully alongside Gala's Ashe. Pretty oppressive is... Okay,
maybe he's just hovering champion. Okay, we're getting baited by hovers. Keep going.
Yeah,
keep going.
I'm getting baited by hovers. I'm breaking. That's like rule number 1 of cat. There we go. All right, so we've got it brought back over. But Meiko and TheShy can really set up shop in this bottom lane and really take over lane prio. We can see Meiko maybe get out on the rift, play for those grubs, play alongside Jiejie like he does so well. As we get the Leona lock in for Lua Lua. Ooh.
Wait. Okay, now I'm getting baited by hovers. Taric would be incredibly based for Meiko if you can pick it here. I think it offers so much. It's great in the 2v2. And I'm getting baited. I'm just going to wait. Because Taric would be great. I would love to see Meiko do it. Come on. All right, fine. We're gonna be boring. We're gonna Braum. Okay, fine. It's still fine. Ashe Braum, Freljord duo. You have a great 2v2 coming into the Kalista. I think it's also fine to set up into this enemy team. You can also use the Unbreakable versus the Maokai ultimate, help out your team. Perfectly fine there. IG still going for, looks like Silas here for rookie yet again. So RNG, what is going to be your answer in the mid lane? It could be Annie. It could also still be that Ahri that we've been seeing from Tangyuan. I think they still need a bit of damage here, so Annie might be a little too low in my liking, but if you're talking about a really strong first punch, you're not going to be picking Annie. I think this is perfectly fine.
I like it as the setup for Tangyuan for Milky Way, because I've said it a million times, you've heard it a million times, I'll play for possessions here. Especially, obviously with the Viego and just the Champions draft design, but in Milky Way, this is exciting. Get him off those AP champions. It hasn't been working. Let's get him a tempo win on his Viego. Easier said than done, obviously, knowing the opponents.
Milky Way probably, after coming back from FPX, he's like, hey, so Tangyuan's like, hey, so what do you think we can pick mid here? Like, I can give you, like, maybe Annie, maybe an Ahri. They banned away Talia. And he's like, I mean, Kara just played Annie and we did pretty well, so you wanna go for that? Seems like it's perfectly cool.
Rough spot for milkyway to be in. I agree with you. I expect that we might just get another team trying to overload into shutting down TheShy. His rookie. It's his first Moscato. Doug, you talked about how powerful Braum is level 1. A bad, rough start. As Lua drops first blood before we even crest a minute.
Why? Falls down. I didn't want to see RNG. If they're going to move into enemy jungle, you got to walk as 4 or 5. Multiple members need to be there. And it's going to be the first blood here for Rookie. So gets a Ruby Crystal. It's going to be nice, especially in the mage or the melee versus ranged matchup for Tangyuan. Actually going for the first strike here. So wants to cheat out a little bit of gold. First strike, it's great for that huge damage spike that you're able to get. It's a little bit of an amp for yourself, but really it's about being able to cheat your economy and get ahead of your opponents a little bit ahead of time. You're going to probably be able to get your second and third item just a little bit faster. They're going for the level 1 again. Oh!
Lola, he's once again targeted. It's complete deja vu. Gala's flashing forward to get the slows onto Jiejie. Forces a flash out of Tangyuan as well.
Oh,
another Bronku lands. Doesn't have flash up. Another stun comes across. A perfect start for IG. They find 3 kills before 2 minutes.
I don't want to be that guy, but it might be time to wrap it up, boys. Or RNG.
I think you're
like,
right.
They're going for the lane swap now, right? They were trying to avoid the Ashe Braum, but now what's happened is you've given over multiple kills until IG have reset. That is going to be the most equal this game is going to be. It's gold unspent for a lot of the members here of Invictus Gaming, but you're now missing flash from multiple members of your squad on Royal Never Give Up. And an early game that we wanted to see them get really far ahead. You have this Kalista. She's going to fall off like a truck versus an Ashe and a Braum and the rest of this team. I mean, even if you just ignore the rest of the team and we get to like 25, 30 minutes, how is Kalista ever dealing damage to Cassante? It's just not happening.
No, it's never happening. Really, I wonder how much lane swap, the meta you talked about, really just got nullified by this rough start. Because we saw RNG stacking up for that invade. Gotta think they potentially thrown JiaQi and Lola towards the top side into TheShy, but because they drop all those kills, we get a pretty traditional start that's anything but traditional for how rough some of these lanes are looking. I mean, what a wave Gala is stacked up, and knowing him can play around the turn aggro pretty well to make sure that Jiejie feels every last auto attack trying to catch the wave. And oh, Jiejie's taking away camps.
I was going to say the jungle camp. Great job from Jiejie. Just goes for his topside camps, moves right in.
Oh, he got it.
Seems like, oh no, Jiejie got it. Jiejie got it because he was at 17 before, so he ends up getting the Gromp. Big steal away. I mean, Milky Way has no camps to play for, man. There's an entire bottom side quadrant still available. Jiejie's going to steal the blue buff. Even Meiko canceling the back. Milky Way thought, okay, maybe I'm getting hit with this Winter's Bite. This is not going to matter. Are they going to try to make a turn here? I think it's very dangerous. Wukong's going to be able to come down here. Rookie also has priority, so he's making his move on over. RNG just look lost right now in this early game.
Lost in the sauce.
And Milky Way gets canceled again. Ah, no!
This, he's going to try and turn for the Scuttle Crab, but that's already taken by Jiejie. What do you do here if you're Milky Way? We got a flash towards the mid lane, though. We got a 1v1 between Tangyuan, but back bot side, they're finally trying to jump onto Gala, who does not have the flash. Braum shield comes up clutch from Meiko, and here comes the turn on to Jiejie with the Wukong forward. Jiejie dashes, finds the first one, flash for the Q as well. Milky Way stunned up and dropping. It's even more kills for IG.
They try to get something out of what is a disastrous early game, and we are 4.5 minutes in. It's 5 kills to IG, and they're looking to take this group with a 3-0.
I hate to be rough, but yeah, just pack it up,
that's
boys.
just how it is. It's just how it goes. They try to go in with this level 3. They're not able to find it. I thought maybe with Meiko flashing forward to try to land this Braum Q. Thank you to our observers for zooming in a little bit on that play from Meiko. But Milky Way, I mean, he doesn't have too many options. He's been canceled on his back so many times. He's had 4 camps for the last 3 minutes now. Finally, he's able to get his 4th camp of the game. And Jiejie and the rest of this IG squad have just put in what is essentially all breaks for the RNG early game, as they now find themselves with 2,500 gold lead. And this game doesn't get any easier for them. It's not like, okay, there's a scaling composition that got taken advantage of early. They're playing Kalista into Ashe, and they're playing what is essentially like a one-shot comp to try to get Viego resets. And even Viego's behind at this point.
Diego's behind. Jiejie accelerated. The bruiser quality of this top side for IG is going to be a problem. And now they're just trying to go back to old reliable, it seems, in this Demacia Cup, which is target TheShy. But he's able to spot out the roam up and get out.
Are they going to fight for this? I see that IG, instead of hitting that bot turret, instead they actually just want to fight. So, foregoing maybe getting some turret plates for themselves, Ricky's got to be careful. He walks forward.
Flashes to get the first stun. Zenith Blade down. Has a stolen Solar Flare, though. Looking to light it up. There's no ult available for Jiejie or Tangyuan. There's the Solar Flare stolen. Immediately cleansed. In comes Xiaoxu trying to clean up on the front side of the fight, but Milky Way drops. No Viego reset, and now it's time to just feed the sheep to the slaughter. Down goes Tangyuan. Next to fall is Jiejie. Xiaoxu, the only one left up, is Lele resets. But it's a 9-1 kill score at 6.5 minutes for Invictus Gaming.
They can't even lose in peace right now. It's 9-1. It's going to be Crofts going over to IG. We're getting an incredibly dominant early game here. It was all the way from the level 1, and Rookie now, I mean, he gets caught out, but there's just no damage. Lele is level 3 on Leona. I mean, not to say that Meiko is that far ahead on his counterpart, but Silas has ultimate first. This entire time, Tangyuan is still level 5. So only our mid laner and our top laners for both teams are level 6. Even TheShy is getting ready. He even flashed over that wall. He could have probably just used the E to get over, but he just wants to feel engaged, involved. Jiejie is going to be visiting on mid here. Tangyuan should be fine, but still level 5.
Yeah, level 5 has to flash out of the Cyclone. Has that flash down on repeat. We see Lele and Milky Way trying to punish Gala. Another Braum stun comes across. Gala wants to step up against his former squad and just fire arrows over and over again. Well, where can you even go at this point but towards the gray screen as Rookie flakes off the retreat?
You know, I thought this RNG roster would just have a little bit more synergy, considering how many of them have played with each other from former LDL splits. Xiaoxu actually playing with a majority of them, played with Milky Way in 22 Summer, played with Tangyuan in LDL 22 Spring. Lele actually kind of being on this team as well, playing with Xiaoxu in 2020 Spring on Royal Club. I thought this was going to kind of be the team where, hey, we've all played with each other in the Dev League at one point or another, except for JiaQi. So maybe we can bring in some of that old flair, and we don't have to really go through all the fundamentals again as a team. But, I mean, they're losing out on level 1s. They're invading versus Ashe and Braum. Now they're losing out on all these extended plays. Looks like IG, they don't want to stop it, though. It's going to be Rookie on his way bottom lane for the dive before level 6.
No mercy being shown by Invictus Gaming. Rookie alone cuts down Jiejie. Has to watch as his AD carry drops. Does get Meiko on the turn, but still a winning trade for IG.
Exactly. They're not getting anything on the opposite side of the map. It was those 3 grubs going over to IG. There's no dragon started here for RNG. This feels like a victory lap, rightfully so, for the great games that IG have played. Both games, TheShy was kind of put behind early. He wins this 1v2, by the way. He still has all out.
Yep, he's going to look to drag Jiejie under turret perfectly, marks it over the wall. TheShy is tired of the pressure he's been given towards the top side. He's looking to turn it towards his opponents, and it's another cross-map Gala Ashe snipe, by the way. I see you.
Oh. All right, so, Slayer, over, under, 25 minutes.
Under. I mean, are we not under together here? This is the LPL, right? Am I mistaken?
Yes, they're going to have some very fun games. We're going to have a lot of hectic games. Let's see. I kind of agree. 25 minutes seems... We've had a 23-minute game here already in Demacia Cup, so anything's possible. If they can get 6 grubs, especially, I think that's going to be the case. Let's take a look at this replay here as TheShy just makes the beautiful 1v2. I thought maybe this all-out was a little far to connect through the wall, but...
Nope.
No. It's okay. This champion's probably going to get nerfed again sometime soon, hopefully, for top lane. And you get to see this play. Yeah, just walks right into this bush. There's a ward already. You see that control ward sitting in the brush? Yeah.
Here we
Gala
go.
with his ultimate. Do we get another cinematic cam? No, it's just going to be a slow-mo. Here we go. There we go. Goes through mid. Ends up landing onto Tangyuan. And that was kind of a fat hitbox, though. So
I mean,
two
that's
ultimates
Ashero.
here from IG that don't look like they're going to do as much as they do, but of course, I don't think it matters, obviously. I think Tangyuan is still probably dead in that instance. More so just kind of insult to injury here for RNG, as they are so out of this game. 4,000 gold, almost 5,000 at this point at 7.5 minutes. They haven't been able to get an objective for themselves. They barely have 2 kills on their bottom lane to start. 20 seconds before those grubs spawn, and you can already see IG in such a good spot, pushing in this bottom lane that can move in, take more camps. And for a roster that we want to see, hopefully the LPL split can be a little bit more forgiving for them.
You know you're eating good when your mid laner sees the Viego mist show up and he walks towards it. That's when you know you're eating good in the game.
I see a challenge, is what he says. He even has
Exactly.
the Dark Seal. He says, I see Dark Seal stacks. And that's the correct mindset to have when you have this item anyway, but
I see an investment in myself.
a short-term investment for long-term gains. Getting gold and potentially finishing out this game. 4 grubs already gone over. RNG way too late on the rotate, so 5 grubs at the very least here for IG, and they can still make this play. Ultimates are up and available. Rookie can teleport in just a small amount of time, and they're out of here. They're way too far out. What is Milky Way doing?
Dodges the stun, throws an arrow right into Milky Way's face. He's down already, and oh boy, look away, RNG fans. Good Fate's call from Jiejie.
They're going for
their
it.
support out, but IG are on the hunt. They get the Ash slow. They won't push their luck too much, as they want to take as much as they can across the map. Your first threshold for a sub 25-minute game, and they're all 6 grubs.
Oh, they're getting the first turret at 12 minutes. Great patience and kind of poise showing here from Rookie. Wants to get as many creeps to go down before the turret is dead. Still deny more gold and experience from your opponents. See how many turret plates they can take here, as that's 5 in bottom lane, 2 here in the mid lane, maybe even a third one with how many minions and the dot damage you get from the mites. We haven't got too many looks at top lane just because it is Maokai versus Cassante. I think we'd put all of our viewers to sleep if that was going to be the matchup here. It is a completely almost full HP turret. Okay, so TheShy not getting too much here. We still haven't not gotten our first dragon of the game.
Yeah.
12.5 minutes in. I don't think it matters though with how this game's gone.
Yeah, I think IG have recognized there's not even a world. If we're playing for Soul, we have thrown.
Jiejie just smited one of the smaller Krugs to take it from Milky Way.
There's some anger from Invictus Gaming in this matchup. You can tell the way that they are just unrelentingly punishing RNG as TheShy gets another all-out pull on to Xiaoxu. Does get back towards his turret, but it's Lele that gets diced by Rookie. And now the dive might come across. Now we start having some fun. That damage is disgusting from Rookie. Max range Q picks off Xiaoxu. And now he's trying to escape away from Milky Way and Tangyuan. But who's really trying to escape who? Because Rookie looks for another turn. Uses the Brawl passive for 1 stun. Making a second. 1 more auto short. He's diving for it all. The Heartbreaker is too late. It's just a trade. Gala's going ADC, hands bout. This is the LPL in all of its glory right now.
Yeah, I'm glad that they're showing the 2 of them dead on the floor. Great job from our observers. Having a little bit of fun with what is essentially a pretty wacky game. Again, not a ton of stakes. RNG, they just want to go out without a single win or a single loss here. Sorry. They are a team that is currently 0-2. They would like to end the Demacia Cup with at least 1 win, but just does not look likely. 9,000 gold. Not even just that. You look at the item differential, you're going to be looking at XP. It's more than 10,000 at this point. So, I mean, we're kind of in a waiting room to see IG go 3-0 in this group. Not to be unexpected when we looked at the kind of makeup. Anything but success, I think, from this IG roster would have been considered failure. A pretty big one at that. And he had almost full HP, and it is a single Q from Rookie that takes like 600 of it away.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic cinematic cam here. The thing I'm most sad about here for IG is all those Dark Seal sacks are gone.
Oh. No, our investment. Yeah,
our investment. Oh, our observer got a little bit lost as to the mid play there. So we were just looking. Finally, an objective going over to RNG. So they get themselves a Hextech Drake. It's going to be the first one of the game. But 6 grubs, the Rift Herald as well here for IG. They can set up in mid. Pretty tough for them to walk up as this turret is going to definitely fall. Herald summoned by Jiejie.
Look at how RNG are just sectioned off in their own mid lane. Tangyuan flashes over the arrow from Gala. Meiko, no fear in the world right now. Fate's call being channeled to get the support out, but back in goes Rookie onto Jiejie. And this Kalista is just in such a terrible spot. That's going to be happening all game long.
Well, it's great for us to do a little bit of a victory lap. A lot of fans were looking forward to see this IG roster perform. And I think it's great for someone like TheShy. Obviously, he's had a pretty storied history here in the LPL coming in. He was someone that also said, like, I don't really want to play competitive again unless it's with Rookie. Let's see if RNG can make one last stand around their base.
Tangyuan on the flank. TheShy wants his battle with milkyway. Gala able to get himself to safety despite the flank. Stolen Heartbreaker down for Rookie. Tangyuan drops. On the other side, they lose their big tree as well. It's just a complete wallet diff right now for the IG, and they're diving under any turret. There is no fear to be found here for Invictus Gaming. Another kill goes over to Jiejie. Couple more autos from Gala. They don't get the ace, but man, maybe we set the line a bit too high here. They're teleporting in for Nexus turrets. They're going sub 20. Screw the sub 25 mark. And they might just get it.
Okay, there's one reset.
milkyway reset.
I don't think it's gonna be enough.
And the quickest game of the Demacia Cup so far belongs to Invictus Gaming. 16:24 on the clock to take down RNG.
I thought the loss versus LDGY was going to be pretty bad. Like, first it's the LDL team, it's the champions, but with a new roster. Up against IG, they just made it look like child's play up against RNG. I feel bad, mostly for the players, because they had kind of experienced that game, especially in a doomed game of League of Legends. Everybody's kind of been there, like, oh wow, we got kind of just waiting for our Nexus to explode. But the fans of RNG are going to have a rough year yet again if this is the kind of performance we're going to get from this team.
Man, they got some time to figure some stuff out going into 2025, but you pointed it out. Not a good start. Tripping at the start line has been RNG. It's expected results you would for the matchup, but it's just the discrepancy between these two squads. Invictus Gaming, RNG are just nowhere near each other right now in the LPL. And when you think about the history of these orgs, this might be the farthest discrepancy I can think of between IG and RNG across many years of the LPL.
Yeah, RNG was, one of the forefathers of, really great League of Legends coming out from the LPL, and Invictus Gaming obviously had that big rise in 2018, 2017. I think they were definitely building up to that point, and so that was when they were able to bring over TheShy and kind of get him ready to go. It's a long fall from grace. Hopefully for RNG, this is kind of just a blip on the radar for their year. Again, the Demacia Cup format is pretty brutal, but LPL this year is even worse. I mean, you have a lot of best of fives you're going to be playing, and there's a very high likelihood, or there just is with how the format is, that after June, we're going to have a large amount of teams no longer playing professional League of Legends for the rest of the year in LPL. So you kind of got to hit the ground running if you want to be a competitive team.
Why the LPL is one of the most demanding leagues, maybe the most demanding league in the world. And that structure is not going to let up, but once we get to 2025, going through the formalities here, going through the motions, really just trying to understand how big of a win this was for IG. And no matter what stat you look at, it just screams, yikes.
TheShy have the most okay, actually, let me not say that. He's literally hitting Maokai for 15 minutes.
Yeah, just over and over again. Come on.
That one's fine.
Stat pattern.
Yeah, RNG, like, even if you look at the gold graph, it literally starts not even 3 minutes into the game. They already have themselves the gold with the first blood going over to Rookie, and then they make the invade again. We see that IG actually over-aggress. They move forward. They have Ashe Braum. Why not just keep punishing them? This was a roster for RNG where we saw this composition. We're saying, okay, it doesn't have a lot of looks as the game goes on, so that early game needs to be crisp. It wasn't something that we got from their other two games here in Demacia Cup. And again, TheShy with really high damage to gold. However, probably a little bit more fraudulent because, again, he's playing a tank matchup. So, stats don't lie. It's the casters that lie this time. But the stats are definitely doing a lot of leaning.
A lot of heavy lifting going on here for some of these players. The $1 million question though goes here. I gotta feel bad. How do we even decide an MVP from this game?
It's gonna be Rookie. It has to be Rookie this time. Like,
yeah. If
it's not Rookie, I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of our two bottom laners. Obviously, they're part of the kill threshold. I think maybe even you could give it over to Meiko for playing such an aggressive Braum He's like
Yeah.
moving forward. He's using heal as an offensive like short-term ghost to give movement speed to his allies. He's flashing forward, trying to find Winter's bites. I appreciate that, especially with how fast this game was going. IG recognizing, I don't think we got to take steps with these guys. I think we can skip a few. They're like, instead of, you know, when you're on the escalator and you're going up, you're like, I think I can take that extra step. I can just jump over that one. I'm not going to skip myself. Let's just do it.
It's a hell of a way to play when you've got the confidence knowing that IG are just better across the board than anybody else in this group. But I'm curious to see where this MVP goes. We could talk about, I mean, now that we have IG 3-0, locks them into that top esports matchup. Alk, I'm curious how you feel about the draw there. I think if you're top esports fan, you're a little nervous, but IG, no better way to start that bracket stage out of
I mean, you were probably already worried when they signed Crisp, so you kind of got what you kind of knew what you were getting when they signed him. They do have Kanavi now, so
yes, they
be a little
do.
excited there. Kanavi has obviously done a lot for the LPL after originally leaving LCK for the region, so I mean they've got a lot of great pieces over on top. There's still 369 Cream, who I think really kind of came into his own in this last year. Yeah, I mean JiaQi Love is still a great AD carry, but has definitely had some up. You can try to use for the Heartbreaker on Viego, but Cassante uses that, gets the all out to try to cancel it, immediately moves him back. Small bit of mechanics there. I like that. Kind of showing in what I want to see from this IG team, which is kind of the mechanics of the squad. Rookies obviously still playing at a really high level. Gala now with Meiko, a great bottom lane pair. Jiejie with a team that is unfortunately, or I guess fortunately for him, on fire and kind of working. Previously on EDG for almost all of his career, and the back end, it just wasn't looking great. EDG were kind of rosters that just were a revolving door. Didn't have much to do. Hey, rookie!
We got it.
Yeah.
Rookie truthers rise up. Impressive Silas games. Last game was, I would argue last game was even more impressive because I think Rookie just kind of got handed so much gold and so much of a lead with how this game started. But to bring it home is another thing. Shout out to Rookie as he grabs that player of the game.